This is the final installment of our step-by-step series where we take an account from the very beginning and improve it from clan boss, dungeons, and arena. Now we're doing arena. Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and we are in the final stages of step by step. We've got AJ's account again, and we are going to try and improve his arena team. It's the only thing left. We started with clan boss because the most important things, you get the best rewards there. And then we moved over into the dungeons because of course you need that in order to farm the gear to make everything better in your account. So we've covered all the important parts of this game. The last part that we have to do is arena, and we're gonna try and make a good arena team and hopefully get this guy moving up from silver 1 where he started into something a little bit more positive, right? Now I've already remade the team and I'm very happy with the results, but I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about the process that took us there, right? And kind of the process of this entire endeavor here, this whole idea of taking an account from beginning and moving it to something different by the end on all different levels, and the way that I approached all that. Because with all the other steps we've done, I've kind of mostly focused on those particular moments, right? We focused on the clan boss team, we focused on the dungeons, and we talk a little bit about the progression of things, but I want to go a little bit more into that now that we are at the final stage and talking about arena. So the most important thing when taking an account and trying to figure out how do I improve it is prioritizing areas of the game. This is what we've already done. We focus on clan boss because you get the best rewards. It's the most important area of the game. And in order to tackle that, we used the best champions we had available, right? The ones that were going to make our team effective. And so that's what we did. We used champions like Cardiel, Tower, Demitha. We've got Draco in there. We got Geomancer in there. Now, these are all champions that can be really useful in other areas of the game, but clan boss being the most important, this is where we focused on it. And then we of course went on to the dungeons, starting with Spider because it's kind of unique and we really need to get that part done, and then moving on to the other different dungeons after that in order of importance. The hard part with that is that once you use a champion and get them ready for one area of the game, you kind of have to use them with how you geared them for the other areas of the game. It's very hard to switch stuff around, right? And so that was kind of our approach here, and it makes things a little bit more difficult. And we're starting to see the fruits of that difficulty here when we start talking about arena, because the best arena champion on this account is Cardiel. But we've already committed to using him in clan boss. So if we can't use him at the speeds we have and the gear and the sets and stuff that we have already on him, we're probably just not going to be able to use him at all. And now we got to figure out what are we going to do for arena. Now, thankfully, by the time I started this, we started this about a week ago, and by the time we're here today working on arena, he'd actually pulled a really important and very powerful champion for us, Lysandra. She's an amazing arena champion, one of the best, maybe the best speed champion period in this game. And so we're going to actually be able to run a faster team than we normally would be able to. Even with the limited gear we have, we've also been farming a little bit more, so there are more things available to us now than when we started. And so that's great for this account, and it's going to make this build a lot easier. You can see we have plenty of options as far as champions go, right? We've got Ethos, we've got Candrafon, we've got a couple of different champions that can be really good nuke champions that are already level 60. Not to mention we have, what's this guy's name? Genbo the Dishonored as well as an option too. And so that's good. We got the damage. Now it's about survivability. Champions like Blind Seer, like Cardiel, Underpriest Brogni, Roshkar the Tower, they're really good for that survivability. Even a miscreated monster can be really effective if built well. But of course, you know, this is a takeover, right? He wants the best possible team. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Like I said, I've already rebuilt this. So let me go ahead and go over the team that we're going to be using here. Real quick, guys, I always forget this. Before we get into actually showing this team in arena and going over the build, I just want to remind you, if you've enjoyed this series or you're enjoying my content in general, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you enjoyed today's music, that Soundstripe link is down below in the pinned comment description of this video, like all my videos, and you can definitely get that there. Use my code DeadwoodJedi and save 15% along the way. Okay, so here we are in arena, and you can see we are in tier 2 silver, right? We started off in tier 1, and after I built it, I was testing it a bit and actually moved us all the way up into silver 2, which is great. Now, as far as the team goes, right, I do have it set up So this is the team that we're going to be using. Lysandra is the lead. We have a level 50 Lanicus who we're going to be using as well. There's a Madameceres, and then we have a Bigen here, and Bigen's going to be uniquely good for this particular composition. This is the champions. These are the champions we're going to be using. I did use almost all the books we had to get Bigen booked up, to get Lysandra booked up, and that's going to be important to get them there. So as I said, we're going to be using Lysandra as our lead. Now, she's amazing. She has a 24% speed aura, which is great. On top of that, she has one of the best speed boosts in this game. This Energize skill gives a 30% increased speed, and can also give us a turn meter boost of 30% for all allies, and can decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 30%. So if she has enough accuracy, she can do some really great work for us as far as making sure we go first. Even her A2 is great, which fully depletes the target's turn meter, which makes for a great second round kind of follow-up skill to keep us going first. After her, we're going to have Lanicus the Chosen, who has an ally attack ability right here. On top of that ally attack ability, though, she also gives us a 30% turn meter boost, which is fantastic. And one of the reasons why I wanted to use Lanicus instead of a champion like maybe like a Cardial or somebody else is because of that turn meter boost. The requirement of speed for the rest of our champions is extremely low. And I knew this account, we did not have a ton of gear options. So trying to build damage out of Bigen and speed wasn't going to be very feasible. Because we have Lanicus, because we have Lysandra, we're actually able to utilize Bigen's skills here. Then we also have Madameceres, and you may be wondering why we're using her. When we get in the run, I can show you a little bit more exactly, but basically she's going to be going after Lanicus, and she's going to be stripping all the enemy buffs as well as placing decreased defense out there, which is going to be crucial because then we're going to finish everything off with Bigen here and his big smashes. So overall, this is going to be a very effective team. For a majority of the teams, we're going to be farming in silver. Now, once we start getting into gold, it could be a little bit tougher, but we have Lysandra fast enough, especially with her aura, where we should still be going first at least a fair amount of the time so that we can stay there until we can get better gear and start going faster on our own. So as we get in the fight here, let me kind of show you guys exactly how this works. We're going to get this turn meter boost from Lysandra. Like I said, she's going very fast. She's like 270 speed, which on this account, I was shocked that we could actually get to those speeds, but we were able to do that. And we were able to do it with a fair amount of accuracy as well. Because of that, we can actually decrease the turn meter of the enemy. And you're gonna see that with this A3 skill that's gonna speed us up and give us that turn meter boost as well. It makes a huge difference in catching up speed so we don't get cut in. So there she goes, she boosts up, they all drop their turn meter. Now we have Lanicus. Now Lanicus has an amazing A3 skill, but it only grants an extra turn like 25% of the time. Don't want to risk that. We want this ally attack ability here with this A2. And so what it's going to do is going to fill the turn meters of all allies by 30%. It's also going to increase the duration of the buffs, which isn't a big thing. And then we're going to get that nice ally attack. Now, I would choose somebody that Bigen will for sure crit against. And so that's going to be somebody that's green affinity. Lanicus is just going to choose whoever they do on auto. But for us, we might as well hit High Katoon here. So we get that ally attack, boom, boom, and you can see Bigen has a nice AoE hit there. So against really soft teams like that one was, we're gonna go ahead and wipe them right off that ally attack. Now, one might ask, why would I bring in Bigen into this team? Well, the reason why is pretty basic. He has an AoE attack on his A1 skill. That ally attack from Lanicus is very important. We need an A1 skill to come in after that, or on that ally attack, to actually deal damage to the enemy. And so Bigen's an ideal champion for that. It becomes a double hit as well if he crits. So as long as we're in charge of who Lanicus is ally attacking, that'll happen every time. They are both the same affinity, so Lanicus should probably choose the same champion that we would crit against anyway. It's not like this was the only option we had, but I felt with the gear we had and the team that we had, this would be the most effective choice that we could make. Because there really isn't another big damage dealing AoE champion on the squad. I didn't see a Skull Crown or Sinesha that was leveled up to 60 and ready to go that we could bring in for this type of approach, right? And so that was kind of the limitation, the choice I made. Another way we could go, of course, is going with a crowd control champion instead of Madameceres as well, right? We could bring in someone that has provoke or AoE stun or even just, you know, really big turn meter reduction stuff. And that could have been a nice approach to go. And it's not going to work every time. You can see right here, we're kind of in trouble. But man, Bigen does hit hard, and that's going to let our team go ahead and be successful in this fight. And that's kind of the approach here. Now, if he dies, it's problematic. We don't really have any other damage dealers, so it can be a little dicey. We're not going to win every single fight. We do have to be selective in who we go against, right? Tormund teams, Hegemon teams, those are all going to be real bad against us. But we do have some options as far as our approach goes. One other thing we have to be careful are speed teams, like this one with Sify as the lead. There's a strong possibility they go before us, and if they do, we will lose. But we can test it out, right? We're fast enough that in Silver 2, we should be going first most of the time. But like right now, there's Sify in the lead, no speed lead on there. That's a good indication they're not going fast, but it does give them a lot of resistance. So maybe we won't get all our debuffs out, but in this case, clearly, it worked like a charm. Wasn't an issue. So we're able to beat teams kind of regardless of their level, regardless of the champions they're using. What we want to look for are teams that we know we're going to go first against. This is all 60 teams, 180,000 power, right? Doesn't matter. Their power level's not really important. It's how they're built. And so because they don't have a speed lead champion, we know we're going to go first. And if we go first, 2 attacks from Bigen should do the trick for us. So it's going to be pretty much an easy win at this point here. As we kind of go through. I mean, obviously everything's going to matter, and affinity matters as well. He's a blue affinity champion, so red affinity enemies are going to be more problematic as far as trying to kill them, but you know, we should still be able to be successful in these fights. It's kind of a weird team that we're facing anyway. But let's do a couple more fights so you guys can kind of see how this team works and get an idea of, you know, what ridiculousness I put together here. One thing I do want to show you guys is the defense that I had set up. Now, you can't really test an arena defense. I don't know how good this is actually going to be for it, but I think this kind of falls into those similar categories. This is not a team that is going to win quickly, and we might be better off just using our offense for our defense. We're a surprisingly fast team for this level of arena, but what I thought was interesting about this, and this is kind of the approach I would generally take, is we've got a champion like Lysandra to still give us that speed, and because she steals so much speed from the enemy, she can actually be really, really strong on defense. We also have Cardiel in here. Now, he's going really slow for Clan Boss, which isn't ideal, but one thing that Cardiel can do, of course, is place that block debuff on everybody, as well as revive on death, which can't be removed. So that kind of gives us a second life in a lot of ways and can be really useful. So definitely somebody I'd like. Plus, he does have an ally attack ability, so we wouldn't have it on our first time through, but our second time through we would. And then we got Roscard the Tower here, and he's somebody that will obviously place block damage on everyone. He's also going extremely fast because of Clan Boss. And since we're so limited on speed in our kit and our gear, and I probably can't get anybody else on this account to this kind of speed, he makes an actually decent spot to put in here, someone I would use. And then of course we still have Bigen because we do need someone to be able to do damage for us, and that would be a solid option. So there's some, different options as far as ways to approach this, but I'm much less concerned about our defense than I am our offense, because that's really where we're going to be able to gain enough points to get to that next stage. We have so many legendaries in here already. This is the type of team that a lot of people at this level would just avoid just by looking at it. We have a speed champion as our lead. We have another amazing champion in cardio there. This is the kind of team that makes people go, maybe I don't want to face that. So let's go ahead and look at the champions that we have here. We're using Lysandra, right? You can see not everything's rolled up. I'm pretty limited on silver at this point. We've spent basically all of it, and I had to sell gear to make more. But we have her in all speed gear, which is basically what you want. The goal with Lysandra, get her as fast as possible with as much accuracy as possible. You can see we have her at 270 speed, which I think for this level is very good. Obviously, we can get closer to 300. That's where we start talking about getting into gold. That's where we're going to kind of want to be, is getting to the higher levels of gold. Is that like ran around 300 speed? But for silver, this is great. And I think this should get us into gold and allow us to farm within gold, fairly successfully. We also have 384 accuracy. Again, at these stages, resistance builds aren't that common, right? You get it from some people that just are being lazy and not playing as much, and their accounts have fallen, but generally, I think this is a pretty good level to get to. If we can get in the 400s, that'd be even better. But the more important thing is the speed, because we do want to go first. So boosting our team is going to be more valuable than decreasing the speed of the enemy. Now, you can see we don't have everything leveled up. And one of the things I would point out with Lysandra, because she's our speed champion, generally we're going to go and build her as tanky as possible. We just really want her to survive. In case we don't go first, we would like to get another shot at things. And so having her being able to resist or withstand the next attacks is definitely useful for us, but that's like a tertiary concern. First is speed, second is accuracy, last survivability. As far as the mastery trees go, you can see I went down the defensive tree and the support tree. Again, accuracy and speed, that's what we're going for. That's why I come all the way down here to Eagle-Eyed, get more accuracy. We're taking all the accuracy stuff in support tree. We are taking Lower Steel for more speed again. And then we're just trying to, extend the speed buff, I guess, and cool our skills down. And then the defensive tree, mostly we're just coming down here to cycle of revenge so we get a little extra turn meter boost. Now for arena, usually taking improved parry along with rejuvenation is the way to go, since generally the enemy's going to be critting, and reducing 10% of that damage is definitely good. Then we have Lanicus, and you can see I have not built this champion out at all. We actually have a whole nother thing to level up here on the chest piece, but we are at the speeds we need to be at, and that's really the key part of this. Her thing is not dealing damage herself, although that'd be great. We do have crit rate gloves on her. We have an attack chest on her. Like, if we can get some extra damage out of her, that would be nice. Getting another damage dealer in here is definitely helpful. We haven't even rolled up the crit damage amulet here, but the big thing is just the speed. We want to make sure that she doesn't get cut in and she goes after Lysandra. So that's why we have her at the speeds we do. 221 speed here is basically all we're looking for. That's the number one thing. Next thing would be damage. Next thing after that would be survivability. As far as her masteries go, we've got her going down the support tree here. It doesn't really matter. All I really wanted from her, to be honest with you, was Lower Steel. That was really the only thing I wanted from her, just so we can get more speed into her build. And then offensive tree, we will be coming down. I would take her down to Helm Smasher here. You could take Flawless Executioner if you wanted, but again, we're just looking for damage and we're looking for speed. That's really pretty much it. And then we have our Madameceres here. You can see all accuracy. That's all we're going for here. Still haven't rolled everything up. There's definitely room to improve this. But what we have for her, 203 speed. This will keep her in sync with everybody else. 457 accuracy. We just want to remove the buffs they have and place the debuffs that we want placed out there. That's her only job in this team. So our goal is only to have enough speed so that we don't get cut in, and to have as much accuracy as possible. This is pretty good for the level we're at, 450, but honestly, there is no limit to this. Mine on my account has like 700, and I don't even think that's considered a lot for where I generally fight in Gold 5 and early Platinum. So, there's definitely room to grow that. Ha! And this is funny. I actually did this tree completely wrong. Not completely wrong, but not the way I would typically do it, right? We have it going down the offensive tree down here to War Master. I just totally forgot to redo her masteries. Honestly, the way I would build her is almost identical to what I would do with Lysandra. I'd come down here to Eagle Eye, and I'd go down the defensive tree. Again, more speed, more accuracy. So I went ahead and redid her kit because why not? You can see we have more we're down the defensive tree here and down the support tree. One thing I do like is Arcane Celerity, so we get more turn meter boost when her debuffs expire, right? We're coming down here mainly to get Eagle Eye, though we just want that extra accuracy. And we can see the result of this. Her accuracy now, if we look at her kit, her accuracy now is over 500. This is a much better level, and we shouldn't have any resistances for our decreased defense or decreased attack or the buff removal going forward, at least not very commonly, right? Because, you know, no one's going to there's very few people out there that are going to have something crazy like, you know, 600 resistance on their team, not at these stages. So this is a much better build, I think, and will serve us a lot going forward. And then, of course, we have Bigen. Now, this is one of the most restrictive builds available on this account, and one of the hardest things I had to do was try to find a build that could maximize his damage while maintaining some semblance of speed and having enough crit rate as well. It was really actually very, very hard, and this is one of the reasons why I built this blender team the way I did. I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, what I would like to do afterwards and, you know, other possibilities for building this team in just a minute, but let's go over his kit first. So he's got 166 speed, 100% crit rate, 212 crit damage, and 5,000 attack. Overall, I actually like this a lot. I think this is a very strong, very aggressive offensive build here for Bigen. Mastery-wise, you can see I went down the offensive tree to come down to Helm Smasher to help him with his damage, and then going down the support tree all the way down to Sniper just to help land some of the debuffs that he does get, getting a little bit of accuracy throughout that. With him, the big thing I really wanted was actually Lower Steel for more speed, more attack, more from his sets that he has on himself. The defensive tree would be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Getting some free counterattacks actually wouldn't be a bad idea because of the AoE nature of his counterattacks. But my big thing was getting that Lower Steel because he is so slow. So if we look at where we started with this account to where we ended up, I think we're in a really good spot. We're now doing level 20 on all the dungeons or higher in most cases, right? We were only at level 20 on Dragon and barely there with a fairly long run. Now our runs are pretty speedy, at least for Dragon, and Spiders really fast at like 35 seconds or something like that. And we're doing stage 20 on all of them. That means we're only going to be getting 5 and 6 star gear from this point forward. It means the gear level after farming is going to be so much better and take this account to that next level. On top of that, our clan boss team is now 2 King Ultra Nightmare, which is fantastic for us. It means much better rewards, and that's going to be more shards, more immortal and cruel gear, and it's going to mean better results overall for this account, not to mention more books, which is always important. On top of that, now we have an arena team that we can comfortably farm silver, and I think we'll be able to comfortably farm at least the early stages of gold with very clear direction as far as how to make it better. So it's not gonna just be stuck here. We have room to improve it over time, and now we have a very solid foundation upon which to build. And so this is what we did. You know, this is the step-by-step to make this account go from one place to another place. And so I'm very happy with this. I think AJ is going to be very happy with this as well. Yeah, this was enjoyable, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this series. And if you did, hit that subscribe because we'll be doing more of these. Actually, I would really love to know from you guys down below in the comments if you enjoyed this series, if you'd like to see more stuff like this in the future, because I'm not sure how well this was going to be received, and I'm hopeful it's positive. But, and, you know, it was a fun exercise regardless. But if you guys obviously don't appreciate it, I won't do more of these. But if you did, let me know, because then I will. I'll make it a point to do more of these types of videos for you guys. But, you know, this was a fun account. This was a fun endeavor overall. I really enjoyed doing this series. And of course, if you guys want account help, don't forget, Patreon link is down below in the pinned comment description of this video, like all my videos, and hit me up. I have people asking me all the time, can you help me with my team? I can, but you have to subscribe through Patreon. That's the deal. So guys, thanks for sticking around for all this, and till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.